This is Mac OS Ken.
Noise from the noisiest noise boy. Apple's tweaking AirTag. And only hold iPhone close to your heart, figuratively. It is Friday, the 4th of June, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken. Brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSCan. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. Who wins the Noisiest Noise Boy Award this week? For your consideration, Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives. We'll start with a piece from Apple Insider, which has Ives saying privacy and security will take center stage at next week's Worldwide Developers Conference. That is, of course, along with previews of new operating systems and things. On the operating systems, the report has Ives saying that the upcoming iOS 15 update will include new privacy protections, changes to the lock screen and notification center, and new features in iMessage. Ives says all of that will put the Cupertino company on more of a collision course with outfits like Facebook, though it is difficult to see how the two companies could be on more of a collision course than the wreck they've already made. Let's get to the things. Ives believes there will be a 14-inch MacBook Pro and a 16-inch MacBook Pro, both running on Apple Silicon. Neither rumor is new, according to Apple Insider, with other reports dating back to January suggesting the same. There's even more to support the rumor now, though. MacRumors ran a piece Thursday pointing to regulatory filings that appear to point to the two machines. The filings are actually for batteries that MacRumors says seem built for such computers. We'll find out next week. Now back to the Noise Boy. On top of the Macs, the privacy, the security, and the collision, Ives thinks Apple will drop some hints about upcoming augmented reality capabilities or other initiatives. That feels like cheating. They're almost definitely going to mention augmented reality because Tim Cook really can't help himself. You may wonder, what good are privacy and security without a new phone to tie them into? No, Ives is not expecting a new iPhone announcement next week, but WWDC isn't the only thing about which he's been noisy. Cult of Mac has the analyst seeing big things for the next round of iPhones, which is to say a bigger number of units to start. Quoting a note he wrote, Asia supply chain builds for iPhone 13 are currently in the roughly 90 million to 100 million unit range, compared to our initial iPhone 12 reads at 80 million units pre-COVID, and represents a roughly 20% increase year over year out of the gate. While this number will certainly move around over the coming months, he continues, we believe this speaks to an increased confidence with Cook & Company that this 5G-driven product cycle will extend well into 2022 and should also benefit from a post-vaccine consumer reopening environment. As for what will be new for the new phones, it's honestly hard to tell what is the thinking of Ives versus the usual rumors being rolled into the story by Cult of Mac. Rumors include 2 regular models and 2 Pro models, same as the iPhone 12 line, and a 15 processor, a smaller notch, 5G millimeter wave for phones outside the US, and more. That said, the only expectations they mark as being from Ives specifically are his increased confidence in a 1 terabyte storage option and LiDAR on all 4 anticipated iPhone 13s. If you think that's all from Mr. Ives, you apparently don't know what noisy is. The Hollywood Reporter ran the story midweek that had Ives saying when Apple missed buying MGM, it missed the boat. Though I've not mentioned it here, you likely know that Amazon has agreed to acquire MGM for just under $8.5 billion. Letting it land in Amazon's hands was a gaffe, as Ives sees it. According to the Analyst, Apple has made a major strategic mistake not buying a Hollywood studio, while Amazon, Disney, Netflix, and others run away with content. Content is king, and Apple built a mansion with hardly any furniture in it. MGM was a no-brainer acquisition for Apple, and they missed a huge opportunity. You may disagree. I know I do. But we're not talking about me. We're talking about Mr. Ives. Anyway, we were. Though we're actually done with him now, except to say that he has an outperform rating on Apple shares, and that his price target on the shares is $185. Consumers aren't the only ones tinkering with AirTag. It seems Apple is as well. According to a piece from CNET, Apple is tweaking the device trackers with an eye on personal safety. The report has Apple saying it's adjusting its approach to its AirTag's sensors, changing the time they play an alert when separated from their owner, and also creating new ways to warn people an unexpected AirTag or Find My network-enabled device is nearby. The separation beeping was set to start at 72 hours when the device was released. That's being shifted to 24 hours thanks to an update that Apple is already pushing out. That update started beaming out yesterday. AirTag units will be updated automatically, provided they're in range of an iPhone, which they practically always should be. That is the whole blessed point of AirTag and the Find My network. Additionally, CNET has Apple saying that it's building an app for Android. The purpose of that is to help people detect an AirTag or Find My network-enabled device that may also be unsuspectedly traveling with them. No exact timeline on that, just sometime later this year. The American Heart Association has a message for people with a pacemaker and an iPhone 12. You gotta keep them separated. According to a piece from Apple Insider, the Journal of the American Heart Association has concurred with a previous report by the Heart Rhythm Journal, which said close contact with an iPhone 12 affected certain implantable cardiac devices. As with that report, the American Heart Association says the effects are solely when the iPhone is on or very near the implant. You gotta keep them separated. Quoting the American Heart Association report, our study demonstrates that magnet reversion mode may be triggered when the iPhone 12 Pro Max is placed directly on the skin over an implantable cardiac device, and thus has the potential to inhibit life-saving therapies. That is such a cool as a cucumber way to say that. Nothing but the best for the association. While they used Apple's top-of-the-line communicator, the organization did say that select devices from all three major device companies were found to have magnetic susceptibility. All three. Apple, Samsung, and I am seriously stumped on the third one. Anyway, if you have a pacemaker or an implanted medical device that's susceptible to magnetic interference, keep your phone away from that part of your person, please. Another expansion for Apple Pay. Apple Insider says folks with current accounts with credit unions in Ireland now have access to Apple's contactless payment solution. To be clear, that is not people currently using an Irish credit union. According to Apple Insider, the CurrentAccount.ie brand was set up to offer banking services with debit cards to consumers. Now they've got the cardless card thing through Apple Pay. More news in a moment, but first a word from Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment. Great idea, huh? Turning bills of various rates into one easy-to-manage figure? Upstart looks at more than your credit score, factoring in income and employment history. That lets them offer smarter rates with trusted partners. The Wall Street Journal says Upstart's model has expanded credit access and encouraged other lenders to explore ways to lend to more people with no or limited credit history. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans between $1,000 to $50,000, and you can receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/macOSKen. UPSTART. That's upstart.com/macOSKen. Don't forget to use my URL to let them know that I sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/macOSKen. If you're having trouble with the HBO Max app on the Apple TV, it is not just you. Apple Insider says the content behemoth has ditched the tvOS API for something it built from the ground up. That seems to have then fallen over. Now, before we go any further, let me say I haven't tried the update myself yet. I cannot attest to its goodness or its badness. I do stream The West Wing on the app on Friday and Saturday nights. If I have any trouble over the weekend, I will let you know Monday. That said, Apple Insider says HBO's answer to what wasn't broken broke a lot of stuff. Siri prompts like, what did he or she say, are said to be borked. Scrub controls want to go straight to the beginning or the end of a given program. Touching the controlling part of the controller no longer displays a show's timeline. Oh, and in some cases, it's apparently blowing out the brightness and rendering colors incorrectly. Why? While HBO messes with /up its app for Apple TV, the Apple TV app keeps finding new places to play. The Next Web ran a piece earlier this week saying that the Apple TV app now runs on Android TV. Feels like that should create a technological singularity or something. The Next Web had Google telling the site 9to5Google that the Apple TV app is now available for the entire Android TV OS ecosystem. That means whatever devices Google makes, plus devices that run the Android TV operating system, such as the Mi TV Stick and Box, the TiVo Stream 4K, OnePlus TVs, Xiaomi TVs, and I feel certain that list goes on. Apple's Thunderbolt Display isn't buying the farm, but it is eyeing it. MacRumors says the 27-inch Thunderbolt display is now deemed vintage, having been off the market for about 5 years. MacRumors focuses on the Thunderbolt display because of rumors of a replacement coming soon. Fact is, a few things hit the vintage category this week. Other devices include the original iPad Air, discontinued in 2016, and the 27-inch Apple Cinema display, discontinued in 2014. Meanwhile, the piece says the 2013, 11, and 13-inch MacBook Pro models were moved from the vintage list to the obsolete list, which means repairs are no longer available. Talkin' Tim's talking with Malala Yousafzai. Well, has talked. iDownload blog says Apple CEO Tim Cook and activist Malala Yousafzai had a discussion recently recorded by British Vogue. Topics covered include Malala's partnership with Apple TV+, Apple's partnership with the Malala Fund, and coding. The interview is about a half an hour long. You can catch it now on YouTube. And finally today, if you're into the Apple TV Plus series, The Mosquito Coast, there is more in store. iMore says the Cupertino streamer has renewed the show for a second season. Season 1 wraps up today, according to the report, just as the Stephen King drama Lisey story gets underway. Coming up in a few minutes, what do an author, an astronomer, and the host of a kids' TV show have in common? They are all honored guests at Jeff Gammett's dinner party. Pull up a chair and enjoy. In a few minutes, find that show and listen wherever you find and listen to podcasts. macOS Can, brought to you by me and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOScan. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOScan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.